A community rates low on an information scale when the press, radio, and other channels of communication are controlled by only a few people, and when citizens have to accept what they're told. In communities of this kind, despotism stands a good chance. See how a community trains its teachers.
Bear this in mind. Young people cannot be trusted to form their own opinions. This business about open-mindedness is nonsense. It's a waste of time trying to teach students to think for themselves. It's our job to tell them.
And when teachers put such training into practice, despotism stands a good chance. These children are being taught to accept uncritically whatever they're told. Questions are not encouraged.
How can you ask such a question? Have you got a textbook?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it say here that our law courts are always just?
Yes, ma'am.
Then how dare you question the fact? Sit down.
And so we aren't surprised when...
But it must be true. I saw it in this book, right here.
And if books and newspapers and the radio are efficiently controlled, the people will read and accept exactly what the few in control want them to. Government censorship is one form of control. A newspaper which breaks a government censorship rule can be suspended. It is also possible for newspapers and other forms of communication to be controlled by private interests.
I thought I told you to kill that story. It'll cost us a lot of advertising.
If that story goes out, I quit.
All right.
I wasn't going to speak on this, but yep, I'm speaking on it. So apparently over the last couple days or so, some white woman at the park and her little kid, she got into a little disagreement with some kid saying that he was going through her kid's stuff. I saw the video briefly. I didn't watch the whole thing. But I'm wondering, where the heck was the parents or parent of this said black kid? I didn't even see the kid. I just saw her cussing and calling the little boy names. But I didn't see any parents. Like the whole time I saw some foreign dude videotaping her and her saying, you know, shut on you. Yeah, I called him a name, so he was going through my stuff. So where was Laquita when she was supposed to be watching her little baby kid? Where was she at? Because I didn't see anyone. Secondly, this female has raised over $600,000 in just a couple of days. She turned around, she asked for $500,000 the first time, got $500,000, over $630,000, and climbing, mind you. It's climbing on Give, Send, Go. Yeah. She said, you know, she's being threatened and her family is blah, 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 say. Yeah, okay, got it. I'm just not doing this right, I guess, because these people who just do ratchet shit can raise all kinds of money. It's just, it's crazy to me. So she raises all this money, right, for calling the little black kid a name because she said he was going through her stuff. And, you know, I would be wondering if I was a parent, where is the parent? Why is this little kid roaming around causing trouble? So I just think the dichotomy is very intense that she calls the little black kid a name. She's able to raise just as much or more as the little black kid who stabbed a white kid in Texas at a track meet. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Because, see, she's supposed to be canceled out the gate. She's supposed to be canceled. And the Democrats have definitely tried to throw their little 2 cents in. It ain't working no more. You see how this works, Democrats? Because, see, y'all have said on several occasions, give us an inch and we'll take a mile. Yeah, you done took your miracle mile, and now the road has run out and it's bridge out. Nobody wants to hear this race garbage anymore because it's not of any substance. Nobody gives a shit. You have worn out the term racist. Everything's racist. You have published so-called studies, critical race theory, equity, diversity, equity, inclusion, that mostly benefits white, liberal, credential class females. But okay, you have run the race thing absolutely underground. It's over. People are so sick of it. People are so put out and put off with this shit that you have caused something that 10 years ago would have, hell, 5 years ago, where that bitch would have been canceled like in a heartbeat. But see, you can't cancel her now. She's got people given to her from all over the planet. You got every people. Yeah, they're racist. You didn't think you would drive people who were not racist before to become that way? With all of your DEI bullshit, with you circling the wagons around a kid who stabs another kid and tries to get excused for it based on race? People ain't buying this shit no more, dog. It's over.
I think that was part of their plan to get the divide so they can get their Marxism. Marxism is part of the plan to get that divide so they can do the have-nots and all that so they can get socialism. That's their plan.
It's over. DEI is dead. We're done with this shit, dude. We're done. Nobody cares. That's why that bitch was able to raise, she's close to $1 million now. She gonna be all right. So for her little troubles, she can go buy her another house now. She can, if she's renting a house, she can go buy another one. But you see what you have created with your stupidity? You have created a group of a societal divide that is so deep that this woman can literally call this little child a name, and we all know what it is. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about that kind of stuff. But instead of her being canceled, people are even on the DL donating to her, because you know what? Y'all donated the little black kid who stabbed the little white kid at school. Y'all raised money. Hey, if it's good for you, it's good for me too, baby. Y'all raised money for him. Y'all still circling the wagons for him. He literally put a knife in his backpack, went to school, he didn't take the damn knife to school to cut steak. That's premeditated fucking murder. Just so everybody's keenly aware. You can't use excuses just because he's black. There's a case right here in Colorado that is these kids, they were teenagers when this happened, I think. They were older teenagers, but they were throwing rocks off the overpass in I think it was Boulder, somewhere, Colorado. They were throwing rocks off the overpass, and they killed a woman. She got hit while driving with a rock, and they scattered, of course, but they got caught. They're all white. They're not making excuses because they're kids. You cannot throw rocks at people. You can't. My point is, you cannot just do murderous, ratchet shit and then think you get a pass because, oh, you're just a kid. Oh, you're black. Oh, you're this. Oh, you got bullied. Oh, this. Oh, that. No, the law is the law, damn it. So this woman's able to raise a bunch of money because people are sick of because people are sick of the racism. Racism is what it is. And there's people are sick of it. You have driven the car off the freaking cliff. It's over. Good on her. She raised the money. And now she can move away from your sorry asses.
Yep, she's 100% right. 100% right. I'm doing another best of Karen Kennedy. Hopefully someday I'll get her on. We'll see. It hasn't never worked out on the times and that. And then when I do have a time set up, she doesn't see the message until it's too late. So we'll see. Now remember, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to have an ICE agent on talking about this. Woman for Trump with an ICE agent talking about the border and how much better it's become and what it was like before and all that kind of stuff. So it should be a really good show tomorrow at 7 p.m.
President Trump has issued another directive. It is called he is promoting excellence and innovation at HBCUs. Now, for the crank far left and the commie white liberal, you want to continue to say that he's a racist? Why would he give a shit about HBCUs if he's racist? You don't make sense. This is a very, I've read this fact sheet and his directive for HBCUs, and see what's happening here is the president we have an established university system comprised of several historically Black colleges and universities. He wants to make these established institutions houses of innovation, not indoctrination, like Harvard and Stanford and Yale and Brown and Columbia, who have been getting billions of tax dollars, but teaching the kids to be communists, racists, and jihadis. We're not doing that no more. This is brilliant. And what he's saying here is we're not just going to give you a bunch of billions of dollars out the gate, because he did that in his first term and they still hated him for it. No, we are going to utilize current resources, our resources, human capital here in America, that are the FBAs, Foundational Black Americans, going to attending HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities. Advancing HBU excellence is the first tenet. The order establishes a White House initiative on HBCUs housed in the executive office of the president. So this body will report directly to the president's office. To enhance HBCUs' capacity to deliver high quality education to a growing number of students. I'm going to translate that. The aforementioned, he wants to develop and garner innovation right here in America so that we can settle this long-time argument about H-1B visas and bringing in foreign students, because you're just automatically saying out the gate that American students aren't smart enough. No, this is the answer to that. President Trump wants to utilize the brilliance and excellence of students that we have right here in America. Do you understand what's happening here? While you low-level, low IQ liberals and dumb Black folks, these dumb Negroes on the Democrat plantation, tippity tap dancing for massa, while you're over there talking this garbage, President Trump is already thinking 100 years into the future of to foster innovation right here in America and to make FBAs a part of that innovation. That is why he has this initiative. The initiative will prioritize private sector partnerships, institutional development, and workforce preparation in high growth industries like technology, healthcare, manufacturing, and finance. The man is reindustrializing the nation. You people are doing dumb, you're gossiping and running around having nervous breakdowns because you can't understand what's happening here. Globalization is dead. We're done with globalization. We're done with you will own nothing, you will be happy. We're done with that shit. The globalization model does not work. It failed. We are not going to bring millions of low-skilled, low-level foreign nationals to come in here illegally and take up all the jobs so that American citizens are sitting at home playing video games, pumped up and high on pills and weed and every damn thing else. No. He's getting it popping. While you people discounted American citizens and said there's no way to bring back manufacturing, what do you got, a magic wand? As a matter of fact, the man does. You understand what's happening here? He is big picture thinking. He is visionary thinking. While y'all are down here screaming racist, he is thinking 100 years into the future when America is the manufacturing powerhouse that we were at the turn of the 20th fucking century. We're going to that in even greater numbers and even greater depth because of AI innovation, because of science, technology, engineering, and math. We want to promote our students. Look right here at the Colorado School of Mines, at the brilliant young folks going to school here who are engineering geniuses in their 20s, who are being overlooked because you're going straight to other countries. No, we got that right here. And through President Trump's directive with HBCUs, he is partnering with the Black community to bring innovation back to America and to put FBAs, foundational Black Americans, at the forefront of that. And if you weren't so stupid and caught up in this bullshit that these white liberals have shoved down your throat for the last 100 years, you would see what's happening here. Get in on this money. Get in on this innovation and the redevelopment and resurgence of the Renaissance of America. This is the United States, and we are the biggest, baddest motherfuckers on the planet. We always have been, and we always will be. The dumb Colorado Democrats in the legislature just passed this stupid bill in the Senate to prohibit federal agents from going into certain places to arrest illegal aliens. I don't know who the fuck you people think you are. And I will tag you in this. I don't know who you think you are. But President Trump has declared the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, citing an invasion of our country. And if you look up the definition of invasion in maybe a Webster's dictionary from the 80s or the 90s even, we were invaded. I remember watching in horror every day with thousands of people rolling up or rolling down from the northern border, because it went on there too. 500,000 people a month, just from everybody from everywhere, just rolling in, sipping on gin and juice, laid back. Just it was so demoralizing to just watch in horror as these people are rolling up with Gucci bags, rolling up with their brand new J's on, rolling up with designer clothes on, just rolling up, throwing up gang signs, coming in and shit. And you couldn't do anything about it because it was the Biden and that Hindu Horus, Kamala Harris. You couldn't do anything about it. You just watch and pray as we did, and fought to win this country back from you damn fucking demons, and get those individuals out of there who were allowing the invasion of our country. So now you've got these bums, these absolute bums, these low IQ nobodies, every last one of you in the Senate and in the House. There's only a couple, 3 of you who are of any value whatsoever. Scott Bottoms, DeGraff. There's just a few, just a couple, 3, 4. The rest of you are fucking shit. You are losers. Every one of you. You have been installed to descend Colorado into California and then grabbing each other on the way to hell. You have been put in those positions to put out the worst legislation in the history of mankind. Colorado is making the list of everything that is horrible. This is the highest place in the country to live in all 50 states. This one is the worst, by the way. Crime is the highest. Insurance rates are the highest. The most unfriendly place to live. You can't get a job. The housing it's here, but good luck trying to find it when the median price of a house is $650,000. You ain't getting shit. This Colorado legislature, these absolute douchebag, low IQ bums who could not find their way out of a wet paper bag, have passed this legislation right after President Trump sued the state of Colorado, naming Jared Polis Squishy, the so-called gay-ass governor, in the lawsuit. Phil Weiser, who's the supposed AG, who's nothing but a little pussy. And there's somebody else named specifically in it. And now Phil Weiser, he's running for governor. These people have destroyed the state of Colorado. How the fuck do y'all think you're supposed to keep failing up? How is this possible? Jenna Griswold, that bastard, she put Tina Peters in prison for 9 years for finding her fraud to put her in prison to shut her up. And she's running for AG. Colorado is screwed. Oh my gosh. And now they passed this legislation right after President Trump sued them, saying, oh, you can't go into certain spaces, ICE and the FBI Denver. You can't, the police, you can't go. Shit, you know what? I'm going to tell y'all, ignore them. You do not supersede federal law. This ain't weed and psilocybin, you morons. You have put us in danger since Joe Biden showed up. You have disobeyed every federal law that was already in place in favor of foreign nationals who were unlawfully present. And you are continuing to do so, by the way. You are, your little stank ass little legislation. Who gives a shit about your legislation? You do not supersede the Article 2 powers of the executive branch, you dumb shit. This is what happens with this Common Core education. You get a bunch of dumbasses who think they run the world. See, y'all got the little power during COVID when you were telling everybody, yeah, put on a mask, get a mask on, get a mask, get the shot. And now you don't want to relinquish power. President Trump, you guys ignore these people. They're scum. They're dumb. Nobody cares what these little stupid Coloradans think. Do your job. Y'all put us in danger. You put us on the map in Aurora as the worst place in the country for safety because you were protecting these people from the time they showed up. You knew they were here. You knew Trinidad was here. You knew they were a problem and you hid it. John Fabricatore, Danielle Jurinsky, thank you for being very transparent with it and putting the information in the forefront. Ignore Colorado legislature. They don't mean shit. Ignore them. Elon Musk sat down with Laura Trump and come to find out that federal employees have been getting unemployment while still active duty as federal employees. This boils my blood. As you have heard, I've told you many times, I was a federal employee until March of last year. That was under Biden. Just so everybody's keenly aware, the federal purge started in 2022 under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. It did not start under Trump. Trump just accelerated it. And actually, just let me tell you this. The media didn't care when it was 2022 and 2023 and 2024 that this was happening. They didn't care. You didn't even hear about it. You didn't even hear about it. You didn't even know about it. But all of a sudden, when President Trump is in there, all these federal employees are whining about losing their jobs. Thousands of federal employees were purged out under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. My former co-workers, they left before I did. And I left in 2024, March of 2024. They left before I did. But no, we don't say nothing unless it's Trump. Now the federal employees are on the TV whining about how they just been cutthroated. They just been done so wrong. Bitch, shut up. Y'all got 8 months of pay under the Trump administration. 8 months of pay. I didn't get nearly that much. So I don't want to hear your freaking whining. So in addition to your 8 months of pay, you get 8 months of full pay. Then you can go and file for unemployment and get 26 weeks of unemployment. Then you still got all your PTO or your leave time that you saved up. You still got all that sick time that, well, I don't know. I don't think you can take your sick time as a federal employee, but you can take all your leave or sell it or whatever you want to do with it. Y'all get all of this money, all of this leave. And then a lot of you have a full retirement. I didn't get a full retirement because I'm too young to retire. So all of you whiners who got all of these wonderful benefit packages under President Trump, you're welcome. Shut up. Now come to find out when Elon sits down and talks to Lord Trump, y'all been getting unemployment while working as a federal employee. They need to hunt every last one of you down and bitch slap you with an arrest. Shit on this. As if y'all didn't steal enough money under Biden when he made a lot of federal employees stop their regular job to go and do border duty. Please don't try to gaslight me on that. I was there and I saw it happen. Spare me. You got like double overtime working in different across the country. Please. There's federal employees who made bank during the invasion of illegal aliens into this country. They made bank processing illegals. So basically, the Biden administration turned federal employees into human fucking traffickers. Woo! There's some people gotta burn for this shit. Y'all gotta burn for this, man. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. Yeah, so y'all been collecting unemployment while still collecting your federal money, while turning in, getting all of your time card approved every pay period. You still went and got, how did you get on unemployment? This baffles me. I mean, and I've seen a lot of the DOJ findings. This one literally baffles me. I could not get unemployment as a federal employee when I was purged under Joe Biden. They turned me down for unemployment. I couldn't get it. So not only did I not get the 8 months of free pay like you people are getting, I couldn't get unemployment. This is crazy, bro. This is nuts. I guess you just have to be a criminal, because apparently crime pays, and it pays extremely well. But see, I ain't no damn criminal. I can sleep at night. Pays, y'all can't. Riddle me this, Batman. If illegal aliens have constitutional rights and due process rights under said constitution, then why is it that they don't use the resources available to them? What resource is that? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Why is it that illegals who claim that they are not getting their due process rights, why don't they go to the consulate for their country here in America? Because that's the escalation tool. When you are a foreign national visiting another country. I know it is for American citizens who go abroad. And if there is an issue that they can't resolve themselves, American citizens, what do? You go to the American embassy in the country who is hosting you, where you're visiting. If you're in Italy, you go to the American embassy in Italy. You find it through the State Department. Here, there's a State Department. There's 2 locations, I do believe, here in Denver. There's a big federal office downtown. And then there's one on in Lakewood. Why is it that these illegal aliens go straight to immigration attorneys? Taxpayer funded immigration attorneys, by the way. We have been funding our own invasion by way of immigration attorneys who know good and damn hell well they are defending the indefensible. I go back to my question. Why don't illegal aliens, since they have so many rights, why don't they go to the consulate for their country that's here in America? I'll tell you why. Because they know they are illegal aliens. They know that they are unlawfully present here. The CBP One app that was developed under the Biden and Harris administration is not valid. It never was. It was a parole system. Why do you need parole if you did not commit a crime? Why have people missed this very, very obvious, nagging little question? Why do you need parole if you didn't commit a crime? Breaking into a country is a crime. That is why the CBP One app was developed, to give these people parole. They got their due process, if you want to call it that. Why don't they go to the consulate for their country? Why don't they go to their consulate for Russia or Ukraine or Honduras or El Salvador, whoever the freak? Why don't they go to the consulate's office? Why don't they go to the office that serves their best interests as a foreign national who is in America? To them, America is a foreign country. They know that they would likely be arrested and have an ICE detainer immediately placed upon them if they go anywhere near the consulate's office. So what does that tell you? What does that tell me? Because automatically I'm like, well, damn. If there are no-go zones that are offices that are official offices and you can't go in there, that means your ass is on a warrant list. I don't know, because I keep hearing the Democrats say that it's not, immigration is not a crime. I've heard dumb AOC say that before. Seeking asylum is not a crime. She said that to Tom Homan. Oh, Jesus, this bitch. These people don't go to the consulate because they are unlawfully present here. They do not have constitutional rights. They have whatever rights in their country of origin, where they come from, their country. They threw away their IDs and passports and birth certificates and any identifying documentation on the way here through the Darien Gap. There are too many videos and pictures by intrepid reporters who are true journalists. Ann Vandersteel, Oscar Blue Romero. The list is long, and forgive me for forgetting anybody. I don't mean it. I'm just trying to keep this video pretty short. Illegal aliens do not go to the consulate's office to resolve issues because they are unlawfully here. That's it. That's all. So given that they are here, they've not only broken laws just by their mere presence, and that disqualifies them for due process. Very interesting set of circumstances that these individuals have found themselves in. Due process laws and the Constitution are for American citizens, not for those who are visiting. You're visiting. That's it. And now it's time for you to go home. President Trump is now involved in this Tina Peters saga. Oh, Lord have mercy. He posted on his Truth Social account last night, and I thought, I almost fell out of my chair. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. These fools, there is not enough vodka. Macallan, 12, by the way, not enough scotch, not enough Ambience, not enough NyQuil in the world for these people to get a good night's sleep. You have done very, very, very evil things, and you reap what you sow. He posted, I'm going to read the whole thing because it's absolutely tantalizingly amazing. Radical left Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser, punk bitch, ignores illegals committing violent crimes like rape and murder, yes, in his state, and instead jailed Tina Peters, a 69-year-old Gold Star mother who worked to expose and document the Democrat election fraud of 2020.
That's why the numbers are so low on the, they don't commit as many crimes and this and that. They don't record them. A lot of them. They don't put them in jail. They let them all out. A lot of these judges are just dismissing the cases. They're committing more crimes. They're just letting them out.
That is correct. Tina is an innocent political prisoner being horribly and unjustly punished in the form of cruel and unusual punishment. Just to note, the president capitalized the letters C-U-P. Y'all don't want to drink from this cup now, do you? But you're going to. This is a communist persecution by the radical left Democrats to cover up their election crimes and misdeeds in 2020. The same Democrat Party that flies to El Salvador to try to free an MS-13 terrorist. You notice they're not talking about that anymore? Interesting. Is cruelly and imprisoning, perhaps for life, a grandmother whose brave and heroic son, that would be Remington Peters, thank you very much, say his name, gave his life for America. Colorado must end this unjust incarceration of an innocent American. You have been given your orders there, Jared Polis, Pokey, Squishy. You have been given your orders. I am hereby directing the Department of Justice to take all necessary action to help secure the release of this, quote, hostage, end quote. being held in a Colorado prison by the Democrats for political reasons. Free Tina Peters now! Can't get any clearer than that. The fact that these individuals thought that they were going to get away with this is stunning. They really bet the house on Kamala. You can't call her up because she has no power. Joe Biden is pretty much dead. And there's nobody else who has the power to save your sorry ass skin. You threw this woman in prison thinking that she would just die in prison and that your dirty, nasty little whore ass secrets would die with her. God has a different plan.
We outvoted their cheating. That's why Kamala Harris didn't get in. If it had been closer, they would have done whatever they could to steal that one.
Ever read that story in the book of Ruth about Haman? You should. Anyway, Tina Peters is the only reason that we know the fraud and disgust to the degree that we do. She performed an imaging of sorts to capture the actual data before Jenna Griswold, that bedraggled sea hag, and her supposed Secretary of State crew came in and did what they called a trusted build. Yeah, no, it wasn't building anything up. It was deleting information. You're not supposed to do that. The information is supposed to be held for, I believe it's 3 years. 3 years after the election, just in case things may come up. They didn't do that right away. They did a so-called trusted build. The level of fucking criminality and the gall, the unmitigated gall and the hubris of these people is stratospherically unbelievable. So Tina Peters took the pictures before they had a chance to completely delete the information forever. You know, these Dominion Runback systems, Smartmatic, this communist shit that's used in banana freaking republics. They used it here to freaking steal the 2020 election. You know, my friend Ash, who is at Ash in America, on X, used to talk about the fraud test kitchen and Colorado's fraud test kitchen. I'm like, you know, that's funny, but it's not. This really was the hotbed and the test kitchen of this bastard. This is treason. Do y'all even know the degree of what you have done while protecting the interests of foreign nationals who are unlawfully present? All of the murders, the crimes, the rapes, the thefts, the misery, the fentanyl overdoses from the cartels bringing their nasty drugs into this country, and Phil Weiser, the supposed attorney general, the only thing they focused on was persecuting and crucifying Tina Peters. I say again, read the book of Ruth and figure out what happened to Haman. You fuckers thought you were going to get away with this shit. Oh my God. This is insane. This is, I can't even, anyway, Tina Peters is going to be freed whether you like it or not. It is time for you, Squishy, to go ahead and get that clemency paperwork together and make up some story about how, you know, you have had a change of heart and, you know, you're trying.
I don't know. It's state laws, and they'll go down with the ship just to hurt a conservative. I don't know. We'll see. If anyone else has any more info on this, let me know.
To do what's best for the people. And, you know, we know you're trying to run for president and just, you know, make up some press conference, blah, 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 blah. To try to make yourself the fat hero. Go ahead. Let that woman out. You know she didn't do anything except expose you. Figure it out. I don't know. But you came up with this shit, and now you got to deal with it. I don't know. Maybe you should have better ideas to actually win elections based on merit and not on stealing. It's a concept. Just a thought. Free Tina Peters. Thank you, President Trump. For the last 3 months, the Democrats have been telling us that President Trump's tariffs, reciprocal tariffs, by the way, reciprocal. That means you tariff us, we tariff you. You don't tariff us, we don't tariff you. Then it's fair trade. God, what a concept. They have been telling us that President Trump's tariffs on China and other countries is just going to destroy the American economy because the prices of your Chinese products are going to go through the roof. Oh my gosh, this is just going to be crazy. You're not going to be able to feed your family. You're not going to have any money. You're going to be poor. Are you serious? You're acting like the last 4 years didn't happen and that we didn't see prices go through the roof on literally everything from the time Joe Biden and Kamala Harris showed up. We knew President Trump had already been in office, and we were doing very well, by the way. Okay, so you're trying to gaslight me to make me think that somehow President Trump being in office for 2 months is the reason for inflation and that his tariffs are going to just destroy the whole system. You know, that's not what's happening at all. He is making deals with countries that have been taking advantage of us for years. That is a fact. India, China, Mexico, all these, Canada, the Canadian Prime Minister was just here today. They are making deals because they have no choice. America is the country of the dollar is the reserve currency. They need to play fair to get into this American market because we're the biggest consumers on earth. So they got to play nice. In fact, China's getting ready to make a deal. If it's not already done, not really sure, but they're keeping that kind of close to the vest, and that's fine. But the Daily Caller did publish an article saying American manufacturers overwhelmed with orders after Trump's tariffs crackdowns on China. Interesting. Yeah, American manufacturers are seeing a surge in demand. Yes, American manufacturers. I know it sounds weird for that to be in the same sentence, but it does exist. Yes, Slim Slacks Obama said that manufacturing is never coming back here. You can just forget it. This is the new normal. Just sending out, just getting imports from every other country and building up their country and making them wealthy while this country continues to struggle. That was Obama's model because he's a nasty, dirty fucking commie. Anyway, American manufacturers are seeing a surge in demand as President Trump's tariffs force companies to reconsider doing business with China. So you do business with China behind my back, I'm going to find out about it and I'm going to tariff you. Trump's tariffs, including a 145% levy on Chinese goods, are causing American-made products to be more competitive in the market. Go figure. As a result, many small and medium businesses in America are experiencing a surge in demand and are preparing to ramp up production and hire new workers. This is amazing news. Thank you, Daily Caller, for publishing this article. But another point that I wanted to bring up is a study that was done, and they have found that we have over 7 million American males of working age who are not working, and they're not looking for work. They're just not in the workforce. They're just not doing anything. A lot of these individuals, as they found, are on Social Security disability, Doge, holla. They're just playing video games, just crashing out, doing nothing. So that problem has got to be remedied. And they cite behavioral issues, social issues, physical issues, mental health issues. No, you need to get back to work. Being employed full time and making good money You wouldn't believe what that does to improve your mental health. You have mental health crisis because of 2020 and because of the last 4 years of the communist devil left has stolen your dreams and brought in 50 million illegal aliens to replace you. That's not happening now. President Trump is removing these individuals and opening up these jobs for these manufacturing jobs that are going to go to American citizens. And things are going to be better. See, this was the plan. President Trump is a visionary. He sees the old Americana, and it can be done. These 7 million men need to get up and get back in the workforce. Meet a woman, have children, do the normal thing, get married. There is nothing wrong with that. The left tried to get you to believe that the nuclear family, something's wrong with it. It's not. It's not. It is God's way. It is the way we're designed for that. Anything else is dumb. Okay? Nuclear family, make your money, provide for your family, and life is great. Dude, stop listening to these hands-off weirdos, these tie-dye wearing, kale chip eating, Birkenstock clogging fools who have 4 or 5 retirement checks coming in. They have their house has been paid off for 30 years. They have 3 or 4 cars. They got 2 or 3 homes. They got.
I guess she's got to stop holding back. Well, not really. She doesn't hold anything back.
Motorhomes and RVs. They do whatever they want when they want. That's why they can get out here and protest and do all this dumb shit, is because they got nothing but time on their hands. They're retired. But they're telling you that you got to hate America and hate your country and hate yourself and hate Donald Trump and hate Elon Musk. Man, tell these people to go to hell. Most of them are old white folks, old white liberals from the Roger Ailes days, and they're just living in the glory days of the old communist revolution. What? Shut your dumb ass up. Stop listening to these people. They're going to keep you broke. They're the ones who wanted Kamala Harris in there because, see, the left, the credential class left, did better the last 4 years than regular American citizens who are just blue-collar workers. See, the jobs, the manufacturing jobs are coming back and they're going to American citizens. They're going to be high-paying American manufacturing jobs, just like it used to be. Get in on this money and stop listening to these dumb Democrats trying to tell you that the nuclear family is gone. It's not. It's coming back.
And the government's going to stop printing so much money, so the value of the money will go up.
Come on, get in on this
in the next 6 months.
You'll be happier, I promise.
And so that the actual wages of the people working will go up actually that way. The value of that money will go up.
Ooh. I just saw something concerning deportations and the operations in Colorado that my resolve is strengthened even more. And President Trump is not.
They're getting a lot of the cartel types and the gangs out of there. I voted
for exactly what I saw
Venezuelan
today.
Gangs.
And I'm not going to reveal what I saw, where I saw it, or the circumstances surrounding it, because I am not going to give these immigrants' rights groups and these illegals a heads up so they'll know what to look for. No, you need to be caught with the element of surprise. I don't believe in tipping off your enemy when you're a damn target. I'm not telling you what the hell I'm doing to catch your ass. That's dumb. So no, I'm not going to say exactly what it was, but I will say that President Trump has.
Democrats are leaking a lot of stuff to the illegals, where they're going to be in what areas and this and that. Somehow they're doing it. They're finding out and doing it, and they're putting it out on the internet and over radios and everything to try to save these illegals in here. They're desperate. If bring in get several million of them out of here and shore up election law, they'll be done for 20 years, I think.
Made promises, and he's keeping those promises. And let me give y'all some advice. If you are here and you think that somehow you're going to wait this out and that maybe you're going to be able to keep birthright citizenship and maybe somebody else is going to take over, baby, you need to leave. You need to use that same CBP One app that is now CBP Home and take the $1,000 and the one-way ticket to anywhere in the world and get your monkey ass on up out of here. That's the best advice you can get, because see, if you are caught and you have to be deported,
exactly what I was going to say,
you ain't going to be able to come back in here. I know people who went through such an arduous, expensive process, very emotional. They came in here the legal way. They went through all the trouble. They studied, they took the citizenship test, they passed it, and they're citizens of this country. Applause, applause. And they're proud to be citizens of my great nation, the nation my husband gave his life for. You ungrateful illegals sauntered up in here with your J's on and your Gucci bags and your brand new iPhones, provide taxpayer funded iPhones, and you had an attitude and a chip on your shoulder thinking we owe you something, and we don't. So this is not the last administration. Kamala Harris has no power. Joe Biden has no power. None of those fools who were with the last administration, Alejandro Mayorkas, Little Napoleon, he ain't got no power either. None of these people have power. You cannot call on them for favors. These activist judges who have been donating to Democrats literally have family members who work for Democrat NGOs and liberal and communist organizations, but are literally the black-robed brood who have been trying to block President Trump's agenda that we, the people, voted for. You're going to be ignored. In fact, you are being ignored. You think you're going to just slam down your gavel and I declare it so, like Nosferatu, aka Jeb Boasberg. You think you're gonna who you gonna send after President Trump? Who, just because you declare that it's so? Who you gonna send? Your law clerks? They're scared of their own damn shadow. Boogie boogie. Okay, so what I will say is I am so excited. I am seeing fewer and fewer of these taxpayer-funded vehicles being driven around by illegal aliens, because that shit didn't happen before they got here, where you drive around and you don't have any plates at all. That has never happened before. Never. We have never had where people just don't have a plate and don't give a crap whether you know it or not. Or the ones who are expired, the tags are expired because these people can't get insurance and they can't get real driver's licenses and they can't get real plates for those taxpayer funded cars.
Gregory, you have first-hand knowledge about them getting licenses that are illegals here without even a driver's test, and they're driving tractor trailers and not paying any insurance and having a lot of accidents. Gregory, if you want to tell the chat about that.
You have no idea how delighted I am to have seen what I saw today. All your little schemes, I know you're trying to wait it out, illegals. I know you're trying to wait it out and see if something's going to change. It ain't. Get on that CBP One app and get your bitch ass on up out of here. It's the best thing for you. Take your baby kids, all of y'all, leave. Because if we got to haul you up out of here, you're not going to get $1,000. That's like $1 million in your country. Stop playing with me. And you're not going to get a free ticket to anywhere in the world. Come on now. Get it popping. Let's get it popping. After what I saw today, mass deportations are happening. and you're all criminals because you came here illegally, and you're all going back to where you came from. It's just the way it is. Come on, get it popping. Let's go.
Yeah, she was telling me that in a private chat that there's tens of thousands that are actually leaving from Colorado, both themselves and by way of being arrested and all that. There's big arrests happening. They're going into some businesses and catching them all that. They're hiding everywhere, but they're also catching a lot of them that were closing down these apartments and this and that and taking the rent and all this and that. They were acting just like the cartels.
Let's talk about Bevelyn Williams. Who is Bevelyn Williams? Bevelyn Williams was formerly Bevelyn Beatty, and that's how I came to know her story. She is
my channel before, a couple times.
Activist who used to go in front of abortion centers and pray for the little babies, and she got indicted by the Biden administration and the Merrick Garland Department of Injustice under the Biden-Harris regime. She prayed in front of an abortion clinic. She and other mostly elderly people didn't cause any problems, just standing there praying. Some were Catholic. They were praying the rosary. But Bevelyn Williams, by the way, a Black woman. But, you know, Biden claims all this DEI bull crap and claims that, you know, they love Black folks so much, and they tried to push that Hindu Horus, Kamala Harris, that Indian, off as a Black woman, claim they love Black folks so much, throwing Black rappers at you to try to get her in the president's seat. But for some reason, Bevelyn Williams, who is conservative and staunch supporter of President Trump, even during that time, I think this was around 2018, 2017, this happened, where some white liberal kook, it's always them, like lodged herself against the door. She explained it on, I saw her on Daystar. And she explained how this incident happened, where this female claimed that, my hand got caught in the door, and just did all this dramatic crap. And so Bevelyn Williams, the Biden regime indicted her. Guess in which district? SDNY. You guessed it. Southern District of New York. Letitia Respucia James. Wow. Anyhow, so they indicted Bevelyn Williams. She spent, they sentenced her to 44 months in prison for praying in front of an abortion clinic, essentially. And they just augmented, propped up, and inflated all these charges against her, claiming that she was violent because of this female who like threw herself against the wall and stuck her hand in the door and claimed she couldn't use her hand, and went through all this mess and tried to make it seem like Bevelyn Williams just assaulted her, while they completely excuse all of the so-called Palestinian so-called protesters. They're actually terrorists who terrorize Jewish students, who burn down property, who take over libraries and colleges. But they're peaceful. But Bevelyn Williams and others who are Catholic praying the rosary in front of abortion clinics, they're violent. Do you see how Jesus was right when he said things would go and be completely upside down world? We're in Kookville. This is Kookville. Right is down, left is up is right, in is out. All of it is discombobulated. However, Bevelyn Williams, of course, was full pardoned by President Trump. Thank Christ for him. I don't think people realize the depth and brevity of the things that would have happened had things gone in the other direction. January 6th, political prisoners would still be in there. Bevelyn Williams, completely innocent, would still be sitting in prison. They gave her 44 months, but with President Trump, she only served maybe 3 months and 6 days, I think she said. So you reap what you sow there, Letitia James, Respucia. No, but you big effer. Tried not to cuss because Bevelyn is devout Christian, loves the Lord, Pentecostal. I love that woman. She is absolutely amazing. And we are so pleased that she is out. But see how the left does? You see how they supposedly love black folks so much until you're a conservative, and then they have no patience for you. Believe me, I've known this for 10 years. I've seen how they treat black conservatives. You know how many times I've been called a white supremacist? My sheets are in the cleaners. Anyway, God bless Bevelyn Beatty. We are so glad that you are out. She's married now. I'm sorry I said Beatty. Her name is Williams. She is married to a wonderful man of God. They have, I think, 2 children, 3 children maybe, but they are amazing. And they prove God's word when he told us he will give you beauty for ashes, and what the devil meant for evil, he will turn it around for his good and his glory. Hallelujah. So this group of Democrat politicians doesn't have anything better to do on a Friday afternoon, so they think they're going to storm an ICE facility to try to release violent illegal aliens from that facility. For once, here's a thought. Can we get some congressional representation that actually represents American citizens? Like, for once, can we get some justice up in here? I have justice for 250, Alex. Can we ever get congressional representatives who are not stomping the yard for foreign nationals who are unlawfully present here in this country? Can we ever get individuals who swear an oath to the Constitution to actually get them to uphold it? I don't know, just a thought. So the crank far left and the Democrats, of course, are freaking out on X and everywhere else because this moron got arrested because he refused direct orders from ICE agents, federal agents. This dude is melanated, okay? There were a few other melanated people there. Who is this representative, LaMonica McIvy? LaMonica? Jesus. Why are you appear to be an FBA, a foundational Black American. You appear to be an FBA and not a tether. Why are you trying to break into an ICE facility to kidnap and release foreign nationals, violent foreign nationals who hate your Black ass, by the way? Do you know they can't stand you? They think they're better than you. Have you seen the videos of some of these ungrateful illegals who get on TikTok and talk about how and flash mad stacks of cash and say, you're working for me? Keep working, taxpayers. You're paying me. I've seen those videos. But somehow you always seem to find a way to stomp the yard for these people who hate you. Are you just really, is your self-esteem really that freaking low? Do you think they're going to be grateful if you, by some weird chance, got them released? You won't. They're going back to their country. But if you, by some weird chance, got them released, do you think they would thank you? They would spit and laugh in your face and call you stupid and no thanks. Democrats doing Democrat shit once again. Stop in the yard for foreign nationals who cannot vote for them, who don't pay taxes, and who hate them. Democrats have sunk to new lows.
There's more and more of them voting.
Figure.
There's
Happy
more
Friday,
illegals
peace
voting. They're catching them. The other thing is it enlarges their district numbers, which gives them more power in Congress because they get more Democratic districts that way.
We've all seen by now
Even
the
if they don't vote.
ugly little troll who goes up to Ed Martin, who was slated to be President Trump's U.S. attorney for D.C., and she spits in his face. She has this little dog with her, and she just hawks and spits like the nasty little white liberal bitch she is. They're all alike. They're all just disgusting. They're rotten on the inside. So she spits on him, and then she just walks off. Bitch, they caught your stupid ass. They caught her. And she's going to be charged with, she's going to be charged with a federal crime under U.S. code. Is it 1811, something to that effect? I don't remember the number, but she's getting charged. She's getting charged. You cannot just go up to a federal official, especially at his high level, and just spit on him and turn around and walk off. See, what's wrong with these liberals is they have been emboldened, really got mad under COVID, and the terrible ways that they treated conservatives and those of us who refused to get the jabs and refused to wear masks. I'm in Colorado, so I know how bad they treated people. My name is Karen, so I did have to go ahead and pull the Karen card a couple of times on these white liberals because I guess they forgot their damn place. I went ahead and reminded them very quickly. And I didn't have any problems. Ed Martin. Now Judge Jeanine Pirro is going to take that spot, and she'll have it for 120 days. And then President Trump will pick somebody else. Oh my God, please let it be Matt Gaetz. Please, 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 please. So this little troll thought she could just spit on Ed Martin and walk away, and she could go to her little cocktail parties, whatever, and her little vegan coffee shops and tell her little stupid friends on Facebook and LinkedIn how she spit on Ed Martin. Bitch, you ain't gonna be able to do that because you're gonna be behind bars for quite a while. Somebody please get that nice. That dog is like, hallelujah, please take me away from this ugly skank. Thank you, Jesus. That dog is so happy today. Thank you, God. Y'all just got emboldened, and you think you can just do anything you want and treat people any kind of way because your ideology excuses you and absolves you from any type of consequence for your actions. Oh, well, Orange Man bad, so I can spit on you. Oh, Orange Man bad, Elon bad, so I can blow up this car. And not anything is going to happen to me. But see, you're hitting a brick wall now because you're getting in trouble. And it's nice to see. And it's going to get worse for these people because now they just crashing out all over the place. They're storming ICE agents or ICE facilities.
The left cannot handle it.
You know, they're going to start to keep taking
like
to the streets because they lost in 2024 and they still cannot understand what happened. They are still not willing to admit that nobody wants them. Their policies suck. The People have suffered the last 4 years, and we don't want any more of it. We want the guy who is promising us the golden age, not y'all who are promising yourselves the golden age and stealing our tax money through U.S. aid and by other mechanisms.
They'll own everything,
we don't want
and
you
they will
anymore.
be happy.
You have made enough money. President Trump is opening us this up for Main Street, Wall Street. Y'all gonna have to wait your turn now. You've had enough. It's our turn now. They can't handle it. They don't want you to see a golden age. I keep telling you that. They don't want you to know that you can do better, because then they're out of a job. They don't want that. So good. This dumb little troll has been caught. Release her name. She does not get the luxury of anonymity.
Those in chat, hasn't
God
her
is
name
good
come out?
all the time.
The one that spit on him? I think it did. If you can, type it in chat.
We're winning. Wow. This is amazing. The Supreme Court handed down a decision, one that I finally agree with, giving president, not giving him the authority, because he already has the Article 2 executive authority to be the commander-in-chief and the chief police officer over the military. But of course, when the crank far leftist thought that removing transgenders from the military was somehow wrong and it hurt their fifis, they sued him. Well, it went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court decided, he's within his rights to do this. It's got nothing to do, nothing personal, nothing to do with your fifis. It's got to do with his Article 2 executive authority and his full authority over the United States military. You ain't gotta like it, but you're gonna obey. So we've already
Gregory taking away a lot of the money Active Blue was using through the SAID and a lot of the other slush funds that the Democrats are doing. They're giving a lot of money to the BBC and other liberal outlets. That was all helping their campaigns too, not just direct payments, but money that was, because they were all speaking for the left, and it was all our government taxes and that. And if he can, in the bill, Planned Parenthood money, which a lot of that goes to Democrats, all of the mean cut. So you're right, Gregory.
We heard from Pete Hegseth, and I must say, it's such a pleasure to hear from him. It is, God, I wish my husband could have been here for all this. This is just absolutely amazing. But Pete Hegseth has said, we're done with the woke. You have until, I believe it's either the 6th or the 7th of June to resign, or you're going to be fired. So I suggest to all those who have come in under those false pretenses, because those are false pretenses. You didn't come in the military because you wanted to serve your country. You came in so you can get all these hormones and all this free medical treatment, totaling hundreds of thousands of dollars per person. And so you can get these free transitioning surgeries at taxpayer expense. No more. We're done. The military is not a social experiment. It never should have been. And the Biden regime, and even before that, the other Biden and Obama Slim Slacks regime started that whole mess with deteriorating and demoralizing our military. That bum, that Kenyan nightmare should never have been in charge of our military. He hates this country, dude. His only purpose in even being here is to destroy America. He failed. I guess he seemed to think he's somehow got the plan. I can't stand that dude. So, no more trans in the military. I sure hate it for you, but go somewhere else with that shit. This is about lethality and preparedness for wars. The military, that is your only function. It's not a place where people come together to show off your nasty carnival clown costumes and your dog masks and your weird things. This is the military. Anybody could have attacked us at any time under Biden and Harris because the military was so fragmented and just so demoralized. That's why the recruiting numbers were in the toilet. Now, I drive by recruiting centers, the parking lot's full, bro. People want to go into the military. Why? Because they have a commander-in-chief who's a real man and a SecDef who is a real man, a no-limit soldier, bro. Nobody wants to work for the dude who starred in Weekend at Bernie's and heals up Harris. Who the hell would want to go into the military to serve under them? Ugh. So now you got to go. You got to go. The military is not a social experiment. To those of you who have gotten, whatever, to what level in your transition or whatever, you're going to have to figure it out from here. We're not going to you're not just going to keep using taxpayer
Alex
money.
Jones was right.
I have seen them in videos talk about why they are going in the military, to have their surgeries and to have their medication, because once they transition like that, physiologically, like that, they are on medication for life. You can't be off medication once you do that. Your body will go into complete disarray. So we cannot have that. It's nothing personal. Don't take it personal, but this is about readiness, war readiness, and lethality, not readiness for your spot on stage at the birdcage. Okay? This is military readiness. You ain't ready when everything has to stop for you because you got to take some hormone medications, or because you having hot flashes, or because something is going on with your freaking brain because you got counteracting medications that you're taking, or because you just had your 4th surgery and now you are not ready to go into active theater. You on bed rest, bruh. No, we're done. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, SecDef Hegseth. This is so amazing. Happy Friday. Start getting ready for 2026. I know that people want to just relax because President Trump is doing so much in this second term so quickly that people tend to do what they did in the first term and just kind of kick their feet up and go, oh, he's got it. No. He needs our support. And one of the ways, there's going to have to be more of us who are true patriots to this country. And I almost don't want to use that word because even the communists think that they are patriots. For some odd reason, they think they're on the right side of history by trying to destroy this country, burn it to the ground, and recreate it in their image. They think they're the heroes. You've seen before, remember the text messages between Lisa Strzok and Page during the height of the Russia collusion nonsense that was proven to be 100% false. You notice the left doesn't talk about that anymore. Remember all of their mess, their little love notes back and forth about the insurance policy and how, oh, we can't ever let him get into office. We won't let it happen. They think they are patriots. So I almost cringe and recoil when I use the word, but I know good and damn hell well that the MAGA, when you're true MAGA, and yeah, I'm using that term because see, I've been in this since June of 2015 when Donald Trump and Melania Trump went down the escalator in the hotel that he owns. They hate him because they can't buy him off. I want you to consider something. Consider running for office. Like, I'm very, very serious. If you want to do it on a small level and start running for school board positions, the treasurer, county treasurer, commissioner, sitting on boards, running for Congress, certainly. I think that's where I am focused on right now. Because we need to fill these seats. We have a bunch of ungrateful, demon-possessed.
She is thinking of running for Congress.
I don't even know what to call these people anymore. I've run out of names. They don't care about us. In fact, they hate us. They do not represent us. The Colorado State Legislature, the Senate and the House have done everything that they can this past session, and it's almost over. So, you know, I guess their lobbyists have given them instructions before the session started, and they just started cranking out all of these House bills and Senate bills and got a lot of them passed, and this squishy, kooky governor signed them. But these people are not working in our interests. They have to be replaced. That is the language they understand. They have to be replaced. I don't care what side you're on or what side you think you're on. Aren't you tired of seeing these people stomping the yard so hard for illegal foreign nationals? Aren't you tired of this? Aren't you tired of seeing them getting their little sound bites and their little 5 seconds of fame on MSDNC or CNN, you know, trying to break into an ICE facility to kidnap violent foreign terrorist criminals? That's the hill they're dying on. While you are suffering, while you can't find a place to live, while you're getting evicted from your apartment, while you can't feed your family, while you can't find a job because you got laid off a year ago and you still have not been able to replace your job, while you don't know what you're going to do, while your car payment is so far behind, you park your car in another block to try to keep the repo man off your heels. Aren't you tired of representatives who do not work for you? I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're independent, Democrat, Republican. It doesn't matter. But aren't you tired of seeing these people willing to go to jail, jump off a building, whatever, for people who cannot even vote for them? Why are they so dug in to illegals? They're not their constituents. I know the answer, it's rhetorical, but what I'm saying is, aren't you tired of this? Aren't you tired of seeing people who don't work for you?
I believe it's part of the future for the Commie Party.
They fully expect your support. Okay, it's just, I'll give you a scenario because I like to provide a pragmatic example so that you can connect it back to your life. Let's say you saw something on HGTV. Oh, I like that guy's yard. I'm going to get that done to my yard. Wow, that is cool. I'm going to call the guy and hire him and get him out here in my yard and do the work in my yard. I like it. Yeah. So you call the guy, he comes out and you're getting the work done. And, he says, yeah, I can do it for you. And you say, you know what? Okay, well, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to run some errands for like an hour and a half, maybe. You got my number. So if you need me, I'll be right around. I can come right back. I'll be 5-10 minutes away. No big deal, whatever. You leave, you're gone for an hour and a half. You come back, the dudes are done with the work and your yard looks exactly the same as when you left. And he hands you the bill. You look over at your neighbor's yard and you're like, wait 1 minute. Did you do their yard? And he's like, yeah. Not like, oopsie, I made a mistake, but purpose. Yeah, that's the yard I did. And you're like, wait a minute, but I called you to come do my yard. You work for me.
Yeah, we're paying
and he's
for
like,
it.
Yeah,
Nah. Freebies.
I'm going to do that yard because I prefer that yard over you. But here's the bill. I need you to pay the bill. This is the example of these politicians right now. They don't work for us. They want us to vote for them. They want us to keep them employed because they're too dumb to work in the private sector. So they have to keep their little positions in the public sector. They don't work for you. They don't do jack crap for you, but they doggone well want your vote so you can keep putting them back in office. That's what we're facing. We need to vote these people out and replace these positions with those who love our country, who love God, and who are the called according to his purpose. Peace. In a very kind gesture, the Qatari government has offered President Trump and actually the United States a brand new Boeing jet to repurpose and use for Air Force One for the nation's president to fly on. And President Trump has, I believe, accepted. Of course, the crank far left and the Democrats are going nuts. And, you know, I just actually love seeing you people lose your shit like on the regular, because you just can't be pleased. So I really, you're just going to have to deal with it. All of your freakouts. You're the one who's going to die of a heart attack. You're the one who's going to have high blood pressure and a brain aneurysm because all you do is freak out about Donald Trump. Somebody you don't even know. Somebody you're not even personal with, and you're just going to keep freaking out. Go ahead. We'll just be rid of you sooner. But the Qatari government offered President Trump a plane because they're just, you know, they have it. And the planes that we have in this, in our fleet are aging. Our infrastructure is aging. All of these big spending bills have not gone toward infrastructure, even though they've been called the infrastructure bill of the this and the that and the omnibus infrastructure of the in rescue American plan and blah, blah, blah. None of that went to infrastructure. None of that went to improving the presidential, the Air Force One fleet, or the plane, as it were. So the Qatari government is being very generous in offering that to President Trump as a kind gesture. And of course, the liberals are freaking out and asking questions in the press gaggle this morning. And are you going to keep the plane? These crazy bitches. God, Kristen Welker, that bitch is nuts. She is out of her fucking mind, dude. It wasn't her, but it's her type. Doesn't she claim to be like part black or something? Anyway, that's a psychotic bitch right there. But these crazy lunatic, I think the dumb hoe was from ABC News. That's just another rag hag. You know, they're so concerned about President Trump keeping the plane for himself, because God forbid that he donates every single quarter, he donates his salary to charity. I think he just donated his presidential salary that he most deserves to veterans, homeless veterans. And now, of course, he is revamping the whole program and building infrastructure to actually house homeless veterans. Unlike others who have just talked about it, he's actually doing it. So he donated his salary in good faith to start the projects. Yes. So he donates his salary. Biden never donated his salary. Harris never donated her salary. None of these other ex-presidents ever donated their salaries. President Trump is donating his. So I just want to point that out. And he's doing it again this time. So
they used it for the stock market to buy.
But the plane is
make tons of money.
Already ready, pretty much. It just needs to be kind of fit for Air Force One and all the military components that need to be installed. for that purpose. It needs to be repurposed for the presidential limousine in the air, as it were. So I don't see any leftists. How come y'all don't ever talk about Hunter Biden and all the gifts that him and Joe Biden got from the Chinese and from the Ukrainian oligarchs? How come y'all don't never talk about any of that? How come y'all don't talk about Hunter Biden sitting on the board of Burisma, $80,000 a month? That fool never had any experience in oil and gas. Burisma was an oil and gas company. Why was Hunter Biden sitting on the board of Burisma? $80,000 a month to advise on oil and gas. Okay, he never, I don't know, maybe the petroleum plastic credit card he used to swipe up and down strippers' ass, maybe that's what it was. I don't know, maybe it was all that Bogota booger sugar. Shit! Y'all don't say nothing about Hunter Biden.
Don't forget the 10%
say this
for
again.
the big guy.
You need to watch, if you want to know, before any of this really came to the surface, Peter Schweitzer made a movie called Riding the Dragon. You really should watch it. It is worth the watch. It's only an hour and it talks about all of the deals the Bidens made. Y'all don't talk about that shit. You don't even want to bring it up. No, never happened. No. But Trump, bring it back to Trump. Always bring it back to Trump. That man has his own damn planes, you dumb shit. He does not need this plane. He already said it in the press gaggle. Look, when he's not president anymore, he's just going to donate it to the Library of Congress, or the next president can use it, whatever, whatnot. But he ain't trying to keep it. Oh, he got his own damn planes. Why is y'all so dumb? Why y'all so dumb? Y'all so dumb. Damn, he can't even accept a damn pack of now-laters from a foreign dignitary. He's got now-laters. He's eating the now-laters. Fuck you people. Happy Monday. Whose idea was it to put a statue that doesn't really symbolize much of anything in the middle of Times Square? It is all the buzz right now, and there are reasons why. It is hideous. What the hell are people thinking? How does this benefit Black people? See, this is the okie doke that gets pulled. I don't know who the sculptor was, if he's a supposed person of color, colored. How are people missing this shit? Person of color, colored. Oh God, it's just one failure after another. I don't know who this sculptor or whatever this is, but apparently the white liberal class who are responsible for the art that gets put in these particular spots, they think it's a fabulous idea. Of course they do, because they're white liberals. And everything is about race and color with these. They're obsessed with it. I think it's hideous. It's hideous. It's what? Why, if you're gonna think you're gonna symbolize a Black woman, why does it always have to look like it's big and angry? I'm not big. I'm not. What? They call Trump racist, but they do racist things and they don't even see it. It's classless. It's stupid. Nothing about that statue represents me. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And see, this is the problem. See, these white liberals, in their minds, in their small, pathetic minds, they think that they're just, oh my God.
Kind of reminds me of Fannie Willis there, really.
And the dumb
or
Black
Theresa
people, I
James,
saw interviews who
That's
walk
what
by it and go, yeah, I'm African-American and plus size, blah, blah, blah. So this symbolizes me. What the, is that all you amount to in life? So wait a minute. The illegal aliens who came over here got stacks and stacks of mad cash. They got fat paychecks while you get a big black fat Brimalo as a statue. Here you go, darky. Here's a statue. Go somewhere and sit down. Thanks. We're just going to abuse you some more because you keep letting us and you keep voting for Democrats like Lyndon Baines Johnson said. You're just going to keep accepting failure. And you're just going to keep voting for it. You get a statue, a useless statue that does nothing for you, that does not amount to money in your bank account, while illegal aliens who broke the law to come here, who, by the way, Democrat politicians are constantly breaking the law to protect. But you get a statue. Shut up, darky. We gave you a statue. What more do you want? While you're giving people from every foreign country on planet Earth free hotels, free homes, free healthcare, free education, free cars, free theater tickets, everything for fucking free. But you give black folks a statue to stare at? What? So you come here, broke the law, came across the Darien Gap from damn Guatemala or wherever the frick you came from. You get all the tax money that I have poured into this tax system
to fight ICE,
while you are depleting the resources of American tax-paying citizens who have been struggling for the last 4.5 years. You give us a statue. Just like George Floyd. Same thing. Here, you get a statue. But these illegal aliens, they get free everything. Oh, yeah, and they get to terrorize your neighborhoods. They get to take over whole neighborhoods like they did here in Aurora. They get to rape and murder your citizens with impunity because these lawmakers, supposedly, like the ones here in Colorado, will protect them. But you get a statue. You get a statue. You don't get no money, wire transfers showing up in your account. You don't get your every crime you commit excused by liberal activist judges. You don't get Visa gift cards loaded with $10,000. You don't get $13,000 a month in food stamps. You get a statue. That's all you're worth to them. And you still vote for them. Pity. Such a pity. Wow, welcome to the Desperate X Syndrome Awards. Yes, indeed. We have 2 candidates today for the Desperate X Syndrome Awards. What is this? This is the Desperate X who treated you like shit, who was sleeping around with other people behind your back, who is trying to pretend that they love you and that they are there to lift you up when they were actually trying to keep your face in the mud. Yeah, they are the same type when they figure out that you're done with them. Oh, here they come, crawling back, begging like Keith Sweat. Today we have Thom Tillis of North Carolina and John Thune, those 2 kooks. Yeah, both of them are rhinos. They're losers. We don't need those. So both of them have just, for some odd reason, woke up today and realized that they messed up bad. They have messed up bad. How is that? They were supposed to, you had only one job. You had one job. That was to get thumbs up for Edward Martin, to have him as President Trump's pick to be the DC district attorney. You couldn't even do that right. You thumbs down. You did from the grave John McCain thumbs down bullshit. We don't need any more rhinos. We're done with rhinos. I don't know how many times we got to tell you that. We're done with the Paul Ryan types and the George Bush types. We're done with you people. We're done with the fake ass Miss Piggy, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, all you losers from the ghosts of rhino past. We don't want you. You're not Republicans. You are Democrats. With an elephant suit on. We don't need you. So Thom Tillis is in desperate X mode. He is really trying. He's like pretty much, I'm waiting for him to drop a big bouquet of flowers off at the president's office. This fool has been on X the last couple of 3 days after he realized probably somebody told him, man, your polling is in the toilet. You are, because that's what's happening with John Thune. These losers you are not going to win. You're going to get primary, both of you.
He should go down.
You had only one job and you failed. You failed miserably. All we needed you to do was get Edward Martin across the finish line. Okay. You approved all of Biden's picks, all of them. Alejandro Mayorkas,
they wanted to protect
all
the drug
of these
companies.
Losers who decimated the country and stole trillions of dollars through USAID, money that now we're finding out went out the door, $100 billion at the last minute. Yeah, that's another video altogether. Right before President Trump got sworn in, Biden and all those losers that you swore in, that you gave thumbs up to, stole our money. Anyway, back to this. So all you had to do was thumbs up Edward Martin. I don't know what these your handlers have on you, but it's way too bad. You know what? The Bible says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And I'm sure you're trembling because you're going to have to learn to love that chicken from Popeyes, because I hear they're hiring. They're hiring right there in North Kakalaka, right there where you are, Thom Tillis. Go ahead and put in your application now and you can get started pretty soon, I'm sure. You're not going to win. You are not going to win. Without President Trump's endorsement, you will not win. Dead ass. You're not going to win. And you're not going to get his endorsement. You couldn't even do one thing to do what it is that he asked you for. He writes up these beautiful endorsements of you candidates, even though you're shitty, because he did it for both of you. You wouldn't have been in those seats if it wasn't for him. You did this. And now you're begging. Look at this. Under Republican leadership, America is coming back stronger than ever. With President Trump at the helm, we're securing our borders. Oh, now it's our. Oh, okay, then. Unleashing energy, cracking down on crime, and driving unstoppable prosperity. The golden age is just beginning. Yeah, in spite of you losers. He doesn't need you. What? He doesn't need you, Thom Tillis. What is this? How are you sitting there taking credit for anything? What? Look, he's doing it again. Look at this. Just posting up. Just posting. Thanks to President Trump and his administration, the southern border is more secure than it was 4 years ago. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we already know that, stupid. Without your help. What?
And it needs to become even more.
We remember, was that Senator Lankford and his fake ass border bill like a couple 2-3 years ago under Biden that would have allowed, we're only going to allow in 5 million a day or a month. Yeah, it was like 5 million a month. We just can't secure the border. We can't, it will take forever. President Trump secured the border in like 2 weeks. What? Y'all crazy. You're ineffective, and you hate for us to see what a real president looks like and what how a real country is supposed to be run by a real man. Because you're all a bunch of pussy ass wimps. More of it. Look at this. He's doing it again. 2 days ago. Look at this. Thank you, AG Pam Bondi and Director Kash Patel, and all the men and women of our nation's law enforcement who are working day and night to apprehend criminals targeting innocent children. The rule of law is back. Shut up. Ew, you're gross. You're a stalker. You're a sick stalker, dude. We're going to put you on the registry. Ew. Stop following the president around like this. Can you imagine him? Please get him on the phone. Please, I need to talk to him. He cannot talk to you right now. He is very busy with other things, but I need a 30-minute lunch. I'll take 15 minutes, 2 minutes in between toilet breaks. I don't care. No, sir. Both of you, you're cooked. It's a wrap. Your careers are over. You had one job and you couldn't even do that right. You're dismissed.
Yep, Gregory, believe it or not, and there's some states that the governors were signing these bills that get rid of U-terms because it was somehow racist transphobia against trans. Something to do with the U-turn symbol is anti-trans or some bullshit. That it was homophobic, or not homophobic, anti-transphobia for U-turn signs. Those signs were there for years. It's ridiculous. They're taking down the U-turn signs. It's ridiculous.
2 years ago, all refugees were welcome, but now the tables have turned in a stunning twist because white South African farmers have arrived in the United States, and now white liberal Democrats are freaking the hell out. Jesus Christ, help me. These dumb people are having a fit over 59 souls who are coming here from South Africa. White South African farmers, people who can actually contribute to this country because of American farmers who have been destroyed by ConAgra and Bill Gates and him buying out all the farmland. We are finally going to have people here who are farmers who want to farm the land and who want to be successful doing so. The left is having an absolute nervous breakdown over this. Why? Because they're white. It's that simple. If they were black or melanated, as the term goes, if they were melanated, special edition dark chocolate farmers coming here from South Africa, they wouldn't say shit. They wouldn't have one word to, yeah, I know, I don't care. I'm offending somebody. I don't give a shit. I don't care. So they wouldn't have one word to say. They would be happy. They would have been standing at the airport with flowers and kale chips and just welcoming them and throwing their hands up and banging on doing the drumming thing that they do,
EBD
or conching
cards,
or whatever. What do you,
nice hotels
with the concha thing? I don't know. But they would have been happy. They would have been celebrating them. But because they're white South African farmers, wait a minute, now refugees are not welcome? I mean, you said they were when Biden and Harris brought in 50 million people into this country. 50 million versus 59. Did y'all have Common Core math? Because one just doesn't look like the other. And matter of fact, these people are self-sufficient. They have money. The illegal aliens who came up through Mexico and through the northern border were broke AF until they got here and started picking up these nice gift cards, courtesy of Joe Biden and that Hindu Horus, Kamala Harris. What is wrong with you people? We need farmers here. You ran out the farmers with the Bill Gates and all the crap. We need farmers here. And actually they fall under the classification of actual refugees who are seeking asylum from
a lot of farms. They say about
persecution in their country.
Are here to work on the farm, so
they have been persecuted. Yes, they have. Do you not see the stadiums full of melanated people who are standing there chanting, "Kill the white people, kill the white people"? You better not be a white person in that stadium operating the lights, because you ain't gonna make it out. They're supposed to just stay there and take it, right? See, they've never wanted you to see this. It's been going on for years. but they never said anything. The left did not want you to know this. And now it's here on American soil, and it cannot be denied because they have to report on it because they're outraged. Why are you outraged? I thought all refugees were welcome. Oh, you mean just the ones that you can go through and create NGOs to have money funneling through USAID? Is that it? Because we're not using USAID for these people. They're already self-sufficient. They're good. And even if they need a little help, I'm glad to help them. And see, just because you're outraged, I'm gonna step back from my stance that I have had for quite a while now, which is zero immigration, zero, like almost isolationist. Because the Biden administration did such a devastating job destroying this country and flooding us with illegals because they were obeying the UN migration plan. So I'm like, no, 100% moratorium on all immigration for 5 years. Fuck that. I don't want nobody up in here. But see, now that you're outraged that 59 white farmers showed up here from South Africa to escape being hacked to death by crazy warlords named Beetlejuice, Barbecue or whoever, or is that Burkina Faso?
And no,
that's Haiti.
Oh, well, whatever. They boiled the skin off of them.
But they are warlords nonetheless. And these people were afraid for their lives. That is the actual definition of refugee status and asylum. There's no wars in Honduras. There's no wars in Nicaragua. There's no wars in Guatemala. There's no wars in South America or Central America. In fact, El Salvador is safer than right here in Denver. El Salvador is safer than New York, Chicago, Boston, LA. Why do we have El Salvadorians here? Y'all need to go home. It's time for y'all to go home. So of course, white liberal Democrats here are freaking out because white South African farmers have come to the United States, invited by President Trump, because they were fleeing for their lives, literally fleeing for their lives.
They hate that they're Christian,
you know what?
Too.
Welcome to all of you. And I hope that you thrive and do well and become American citizens. At least they showed up waving the U.S. flag, not a damn flag from their own country. You leaving your country to come here and rob me, but you waving your flag? At least the refugees from South Africa were waving American flags. Liberals, suck on that. Since this story is getting national attention, I thought it prudent for me to mention it since it's a Colorado issue. Headline from CBS News, Colorado. Colorado prosecutor offers unlicensed and undocumented teen probation after deadly crash. So this kid is 15 years old. He had a car full of people with him, barreling through a residential area that had a posted speed limit of 45. He was doing 90 in a Jeep. No license, illegally in the country. His mother is illegal. And nobody is willing to take responsibility for any of this. In fact, the so-called mother, egg donor, as I call her, says he took the car without her permission. So she's not responsible for any of it. She's not paying for any. The medical bills for this young lady, 24 years old, total over $1 million because they kept her on life support.
This is what you've been talking about
because
with the truckers.
I know this pain. Obamacare killed my daughter. An illegal alien killed their daughter. But it was not natural causes. And it's bullshit. This is her. And the crank far left probably doesn't care for obvious reasons, but I do. Her name is Caitlin Weaver. Say her name. Democrats. This is what you're storming the facility in New Jersey for, is to release individuals like that who continue to stay in this country illegally and murder our citizens. That's who you're protecting. That's who you're stomping the yard for. That's why all of you're all getting primaried. So they gave this kid, who is the district attorney? Amy Padden, Padden. Why don't you look her up? Arapahoe County district attorney. Send her a nice email and let her know how you feel about this whole thing. They like getting emails. The Jeep was, by the way, uninsured. So, the parents had to pay all the costs and then pay the medical care for their daughter to keep her alive, and the funeral costs and everything else. It all lays on them.
These illegals.
And, they're probably not going to get a nice GoFundMe where people donate, $700,000-$800,000 for over some bullshit that could have been prevented.
We're paying a lot more in car insurance because of them as well.
Caitlin Weaver was an organ donor, by the way. She was a caregiver, and she also worked as a emergency operator for suicide prevention with the suicide hotline. She volunteered to do that. She's a functioning member of society and a blessing to this world, but that little thing, that little creature who shouldn't even be here. And get this. Investigators say his mom, if you want to call that bitch a mom, initially planned to send him back to Colombia. But now he has filed for asylum. So the little bastard now is filing for asylum. There's no war in Colombia. Denied. You don't get asylum. You're not escaping persecution. You're not escaping war. That is the definition of asylum. You're not escaping religious persecution. Most of Colombia is Catholic. They're not persecuting Catholics in Colombia. Forget it. You know what? I want her deported. I'm tagging Tom Homan. I'm tagging DHS. I'm tagging CBP. I'm tagging ICE in this. I want her out. I want that bitch out of this country and take that little crumb snatcher with her. I want her and her little baby kids out of here. They need to leave. You are not welcome here. You coming in here, you're murdering our citizens, you're stealing our welfare, you're living on us for free, you're getting free medical care, free housing, and free everything else, and then you murder our people? Yeah, we want you on up out of here. Well, I want them to be priority expedition out. You got your due process when you signed up with CBP1 to get up in here. All of them, I want them all out. They do not deserve to continue to stay in this country. You don't get to just do this and cause all this havoc and be responsible for a woman. I want them out. Arapahoe County, just so, yeah, Tom Homan, y'all, check it out. I want these people out of here. I want them out. It's time to start making examples of smug, ungrateful individuals whom we have given everything and they think that we are beneath them. You came to my country looking for money. I didn't go to yours. I want them out of here. It's time to stop being nice, or this will continue to happen. Thank you for all the work that you're doing. But this is bullshit. The Weaver family, I don't even know what to say.
Some judge will probably sign, some liberal judge will sign some order to keep them here. You watch.
This is the Democrat desperate X move of the day. They are so pissed off that now they're saying to white folks, go back to Africa. Go back to Africa, darky. Oh, wait. Stop it. Stop it. You're killing. Stop it. Stop. President Trump has wrapped up his Middle East visit to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Syria, and it was just extremely successful. So much good came out of this meeting. And I want to really point out the level of respect shown to him and hospitality shown to him by King Mohammed bin Salman. And the way that he came out personally and greeted him, that's not customary. Usually the crown prince sends his delegates to do those sorts of things. I don't even remember them meeting with any of the Biden or Harris or any of these clowns. So I'm not even talking about them because they're done. Nobody likes them anyway. But the level of respect and admiration that Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has for President Trump, it's like he looks at him as a kind of a father figure. He has this, his father is still alive. And in fact, President Trump at the wonderful speech that he gave to everyone yesterday, I do believe it was, he said, please give my regards to your father. That is respect. That is respect. That is what real honorable men do. They respect, they show respect. And you can talk all you want about all the background noise. I don't want to hear that. What I saw was, Crown Prince driving the president around in a golf cart. He doesn't do those things. This was an even more successful trip than the president had to Saudi Arabia in 2017, when he was invited to participate in the sword dance. That is not customary. In fact, that has never happened before. Never. Their customs are sacred. Their religion doesn't. Whoa! I don't know if people realize how powerful that was, that President Trump was included in that dance of the sword. That they don't let outsiders even in the room, much less to participate.
Their dance is kind of different. You wouldn't think they'd have that in that country because they normally cover their hair.
Syria, he lifted the sanctions on Syria to give them a chance to recover. He made a deal with brokered a deal, whereas Qatar has not only gifted President Trump with gifted the Department of Defense to be utilized by President Trump with a new jet, but they also would like to purchase, I believe it's the 757s, 747s, can't remember, but they would like to purchase 200 of them. 200 from Boeing. Boeing is like, oh, Lord Jesus. Trump 2028, 2032, 2048, 2080, 80, 29, 2020, 2011, 5011, 20, never, ever anybody but Trump. Boeing is MAGA. Let me tell you, because they just made a grip because of President Trump. I'm just keeping it 100. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman announced $600 billion investment into America. I mean, it's just dun 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 dun. Dun. Money, 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 money. It's just money upstairs, money flying everywhere, money making it rain.
And it's actually productivity money.
Democrats are mad.
It's not just printing money.
You mad?
Which raises the real GDP. And
that money is coming back to the United States. That's going to equate to and translate into high-paying jobs for American citizens. But see, y'all ratchet, so you don't give a damn about that. You only want to be brokering those deals if you're getting kickbacks. That's why we primarying all of y'all asses out of there who are sitting on your lazy ass doing nothing. You better watch yourself. Check it for you wreck it. Because we primarying people on up out of there. Now, this is once in a lifetime. I'm telling you, this is nobody else would have that level of respect, to the point where when President Trump was boarding Air Force One, if you see the Crown Prince, he's standing there, he looked like he wanted to cry. I was like, oh my God, I'm filling up with tears. I'm like, he just loves my president. I am so proud of that. This is honor and respect. They know when somebody like the dumb Bidens or all of those clowns are showing up with gimme, gimme, gotcha. They don't respect that shit. You ain't nothing but a bitch ass grifter. You know what? Here's $10, ho, and a boot in the ass. And lock that door on the way out. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Yeah. So President Trump commands respect. And there was mutual, unilateral benefit. It was just an amazing trip. Abraham Accords are back on. The Middle East is going to be at peace. There's not going to be all this fighting and bloodshed. What the hell is wrong with that? You find me one thing wrong with that. One. I dare you. You know, I don't want to hear it. I don't give a shit. This is amazing. And we are blessed beyond measure. All right. Who slipped Gavin Newsom the red pill? Did you put a Mickey in his drink or something months ago? Just kidding. He's not being awakened, as it were. He's trying to run for president in 2028, and he realizes that crank far left bullshit is not like popular. That's how Donald Trump was reelected. We, the people, the country, even some Democrats on the DL, independents and everybody else, were like, screw this. I cannot do 4 more years of these Democrats. Y'all are out of control. We cannot do this. We cannot do this. So they voted Republican, and President Trump, thank Christ, won overwhelmingly. Or by now this country would be cooked. So, headline from NBC News, in reversal, Gavin Newsom proposes cutting back on healthcare benefits for undocumented immigrants, aka illegal aliens. Yeah, he is realizing he cannot afford.
How about cutting back to 0 for illegals? Maybe they'll go back home.
All of the egregious medical costs on Medi-Cal, which is their Medicaid system, taking care of all these foreign nationals who are illegally in this country, and we will never get that money back. We won't do it. And President Trump is not giving him federal money. You done tried to burn down your state. Don't even play with me. Shut up. So you're not getting the federal money, and you're realizing you're going to have to go another route. So HHS this week, I see Bobby is in congressional hearings explaining to these dumbass Democrats why Medicaid cuts are happening. Number one, it's people who are able-bodied who have been on Medicaid who claim that they can't work and they can't be around people, and you're only 25, so you're going to have to contribute, you're going to have to work. And that's part of, I made a video last week about the 7 million males in this country who are just not working for whatever reason. A lot of them are on Medicaid. Sorry. So the Medicaid is for women, children, things of that sort, and Medicare is for
For
seniors.
white male, you don't get
Now,
DEI.
I was in the unwinding meetings.
consideration,
It's
so
called unwinding. They were
follow
doing it in
those.
2022 under the Biden administration. I was with HHS. I was in the meetings with the region partners. You can't gaslight me on this issue. I have made video after video after video explaining this to people, but apparently there are some who still do not get it. The Biden administration realized the enormous expense of taking care of 50 million illegal aliens that they had allowed into the country. So they started doing what was called an unwinding. Look it up. Do a search on it. Unwinding Medicaid 2022. Look it up. See what comes up. You'll see. So Medicaid went back to the states. That's all that happened. I didn't hear any whining, bitching, moaning, and complaining from the media and from the crank far left, even though it happened under Joe Biden. But see, President Trump is the one who has to deal with the backlash. Number one was, so back to the reasons that now the Medicaid cuts have to come. They have to. They just have to. Number two is all the illegals. They cannot get Medicaid anymore. You're not going to get federal money for illegal aliens and all of their medical care anymore. We never get that money back. We've already lost $650-700 billion supporting these lazy ass people, and that's why they going home. So
Coco here in New York is taking money out of other things to still pay that as best she can. A lot of our stuff has all been taken away that we were getting.
The third reason is fraud. Literally straight up fraud. Some people are claiming Medicaid in more than one state. They are getting Medicaid in like Indiana and Illinois, Michigan and Indiana, Florida and Georgia. So they're getting Medicaid in multiple states. Or there have been dead people who have still been on the rolls and still been counted under these Medicaid programs. All of those are the three that are getting cut, and they should, because it's just egregious. All right. So now Gavin Newsom, back to him. He's trying to run for president. So he's trying to pretend that he's centrist, or that he's, moving a little more to the right after being a complete authoritarian asshole during the 2020 and the pandemic. We know how awful he was. So he's trying to rebrand himself. And this is one of the ways he threw full-throated support behind illegal aliens getting free health care under Medi-Cal. And now he's realizing, oh shit, number one, the states like Colorado are being investigated for continuing to provide federal services for illegal aliens. It's it's always been against the law, but now it's getting enforced. So he's watching his ass now. See. So now he's like, uh-oh, I know I had told y'all that y'all gonna get free medical care, but yeah, no. So that's what's happening with him. He hasn't had a change of heart. He's realizing his poll numbers are already shit, and he doesn't want to get caught up in any more investigations. That's all. So Gavin Newsom is pretending that he's all of a sudden he took a red pill somewhere. He didn't take no red pill. He's trying to run for president. You ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna get the nomination. According to Jasmine Crockett, aka Shanquavia Alizé Jenkins. They've already picked who they want. And I don't think it's Gavin Newsom. I think it's Pete Buttigieg. See how he's trying to redo his image? He grew in a beard and trying to pretend like he's a man. These politicians, I swear. Anyway.
Fucking he catches me all the time. So.
Bobby Kennedy was at a congressional hearing just the other day and had a bunch of crazy, same old, crazy, kooky, mental patient white liberals breaking the whole thing up and screaming and hooping and hollering and shouting. That's the Southern term, hooping and hollering and shouting and being crazy when he was just giving testimony as to the direction that HHS is going. Now, I want to remind you who the HHS secretary was before. A big, stankin', nasty, look like a sweaty ice cream driver rolling around in neighborhoods where little kids hang out, if you know what I mean. Levine, Admiral Levine, a nasty, fat, nasty, ridiculous, gross dude dressing up as a female, pretending to be a female, completely unhealthy, probably going to have a heart attack in the next 2 years, was the head of Health and Human Services. The picture of being unhealthy was the head of health. We got Bobby in there now who is jacked at like 80 years old, looking good. Just, I'm like, go ahead, Bobby.
So, tomorrow I'll be on about 7 p.m. with Ice Agent.
But you had that freakazoid.
For all those watching.
Who was
7 p.m. Eastern time.
Making it so that little kids could be butchered like the island of Dr. Moreau and changed into something hideous that nobody even recognizes. But you got these people breaking into storming the Capitol, by the way, storming the Capitol. You know what you get for storming the Capitol? Let me remind you, January 6th, I need all of those individuals rounded up immediately and knocks on their doors at 4 a.m. Matter of fact, no knocking, just kick the sumbitch in and scare the dog, give grandmama a heart attack, scare the kids, have them screaming and they can't get back to sleep, and dragging people out on the lawn half butt naked. They did that.
They did that to January
under Biden and Merrick Garland. That was done. People were thrown in prison with no due process. Remember, Democrats, all of a sudden, due process, y'all, that's all you hear. But it only for them applies to illegal foreign nationals who are in violent mercenary prison gangs. Quite the quandary. Now, RFK is spearheading efforts to figure out why it is that 1 in 30 children have autism. It doesn't make any sense. Why there are so many young people who are diabetic and on insulin at 12 years old. Why are there so many obese young people? Why are all of these dyes in the food? By the way, he's doing away with that as well. All of the dyes that are causing things like autism and putting people on the spectrum and rotting kids' brains. But somehow you got people screaming, hooping, and hollering to stop him from helping children to be healthy. What in blue hell is wrong with you people? You used to love Bobby Kennedy when he was one of you, just like Elon. Just like Elon. What is wrong with you? The man is literally trying to help American children to be healthy again. That's what MAHA is. Make America healthy again. And you don't want people to be healthy? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck what's wrong with you people? I'm gonna need some. What is wrong with you? You can't defend that. You cannot defend that. As the mother of a critically ill child who was in the hospital day and night, who had to call my husband who was in Iraq to try to get him to come home because we thought at the time that our daughter was going to die right then. Thanks, Obama. Bobby is making people healthy again, and you want to keep them sick, Democrats. Why is that? Explain yourselves, so those of us who are sane can understand it. Cheers. Once again, there is something rotten in the state of Colorado. Yes, indeed. The mountains, the rivers, the streams, the lakes, man-made, but lakes nonetheless. Those are all very beautiful. I really love the state of Colorado. Please don't get me wrong. I love the outdoors, and I just cannot stand the so-called leadership, because it is not leadership. This state is being run into the ground by communists, and it is crazy to watch. But one of the issues that has come up recently is what they have called House Bill HB 25-1291. This is a new House bill that is sitting on the squishy governor's desk, Jared Polis, because of this reason. Headline from Fox 31 News in Denver: man impersonating rideshare driver charged with unlawful sexual contact of Colorado legislator. Yes, indeed. So this individual who was pretending to be an Uber or Lyft driver and took that heifer home, one of these Democrats who have made the lives of Coloradans miserable with this most recent legislative session, and now they're done terrorizing us for one session. She was supposedly, allegedly sexually assaulted when she was trying to get out of the car to go home. Yeah, so I really don't give a crap. Honestly, you people are the reason this happened. You are the reasons that this has happened to you. And see, they don't care that it's been happening to people across the country. They don't care. When it hits them, then they want to start to do something about it and claim that this House Bill 25-1291 is for safety. You don't care about safety. You made Denver a sanctuary city, you dummy. All of you. This is your fault, Representative Jenny Williford. This is your fault. You're all to blame for this. And I'm going to tell you why. So this happened to her. This has been a big problem since 2021, particularly, where those individuals who are rideshare, do the ride shares, Uber and Lyft, they loan their accounts out to foreigners, illegal foreign nationals, you guessed it, who cannot, should not, they have been giving them access though, because dude, there's too many of them not to. Before I got this rental, I was doing Lyft most of the time, Uber and Lyft. Like almost all of my drivers were foreign, could not speak a word of English. Even their directions on their app were in Spanish, primarily primarily. I had one who was an Afghan refugee, and he tried to put his hands on me, and I put my hands on him first. Let me just be clear with that. He never tried to touch me again. So this has been happening. But see, because it's them, now they want to try to do something about it. But see, they make everybody else suffer because Uber and Lyft, because of the egregious requirements with this House bill, there won't be Uber and Lyft in Colorado anymore. They're both going to leave. So people might want to try to make a little bit of a fuss about this because this is your fault. You made Denver a sanctuary city and invited all these people here. Oh yeah, by the way, the driver who she alleges tried to sexually assaulted her, Muhammadali Mukadairov. I can't pronounce that. That is not somebody from Iowa. Okay, 42-year-old. And oh yeah, there's a warrant for his arrest, which means that they have not caught him yet. He's still roaming around out here somewhere, probably using somebody else's Lyft account or Uber account. So you caused the problem. Democrats don't solve problems. They keep them going long enough so they can stay in office 20, 30, 40 years and keep promising you they're going to fix the same problems that they created. It's the classic Hegelian dialectic. We know how that rolls now, stupid. You caused this problem, Jenny Wilford. You asked for this shit. Lay in the bed that you made. You wanted all these illegals here. And now you see that they're raping your ass. And now you don't like works. See how this shit works? See how it just... Wow. Karma's a bitch and her stripper name is Fire. Fuck you people. You caused this. And now they want to make it so you... like the ride shares, like you have to have an audio recording device at all times in the vehicle. Well, that infringes on your Fourth Amendment right. That of American citizens who ain't doing nothing wrong. The right of, let me see if I can remember. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. You cannot listen in on somebody's conversation. Even though they're alerting, you have to alert people that it's happening. People are not going to want to do that. You are Lyft and Uber. They know they're going to lose a lot of money because people are not going to want to just give in to this. They are going to fight against it, and they are standing up for their Fourth Amendment rights, and they don't even freaking know it. Crazy how the Constitution just covers all bases, and people need to be more civic minded. That's where I come in. You're welcome. So the state of Colorado, once again, is putting a Band-Aid on a stabbing wound. Retarded. What do we have here? A post from DHS, Department of Homeland Security. Yesterday on X, DHS has filed an emergency request for the Supreme Court of the United States to end a temporary injunction of deportations under the Alien Enemies Act. TDA Trinidad members at Bluebonnet Detention Facility barricaded the doors of their housing unit with bed cots. The detainees also covered surveillance cameras and blocked the housing unit windows. Keeping these foreign terrorists in ICE facilities poses a serious threat to ICE officers, staff, and other detainees. Headline from the Washington Times: Trinidad gang members staged revolt at ICE detention. These are the same individuals who are being protected by lower district courts with nationwide injunctions, and Democrat politicians who are showing up at ICE facilities to try to kidnap and jailbreak illegal foreign nationals who are violent offenders. We are talking about people who have committed heinous, evil sex crimes against children. They raped children, dude. Like,
Just three
what
more.
the fuck?
Those Watson running over
What
a little
kind
bit.
of absolute moron do you have to be to support keeping these monsters here? They need to go straight to CCOT. All of these individuals have a final detainer, ICE detainer on them. They have final orders for removal. There is no more due process. Fuck that. Sick of you people trying to keep massaging the law to make your argument that you want to keep these evil people here. Oh, wait. I just posted a video about Jenny Williford, a Colorado state representative who was supposedly sexually assaulted by the illegal foreign nationals, the very ones that she advocated to stay here. And now that bitch is paying the price. Why are you advocating for them to stay here? Why? You gonna need to explain that very, very clearly so all of us can hear and see what your possible reasoning is. And please do not tell me it's to obey the law, because you don't obey laws. You do not obey laws. Clearly, after the last 4 years, you don't obey laws. You have been lawless AF. We don't want to hear anything about the law. Laws that do not apply to illegal foreign nationals who are not citizens and who broke our laws to even walk up in here. Spare me. We're over it. They tried to take over an ICE facility. The same ones that you are protecting and handling with white gloves would beat your ass, stab you, rape you, and leave you for dead on the street while you're supporting them. Do you want to know how many stories there are of dumb white liberals going to places like Turkey and Afghanistan on backpacking trips and they never come home? Why? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because the crazy bitch, her head is at the bottom of a mountain and her torso and the rest of her is somewhere else after being abused by a bunch of crazies. Oh, love everyone. Nope. Shit on that. Explain why you want to keep these people here when they are now you can't say they're peaceful. You can't say they just want to come here and have a better life. They just want to work. When 85% of them were on welfare. Spare me. I need you to explain it. Come on, Democrats, let's go. Let's get it popping. Explain to us why you want to keep these people here when they're clearly violent. Dumbass. Oh, here we go again. Headline, Fox News. House Democrat to introduce reparations push. Declares, quote, moral obligation to send trillions to Black Americans. Yeah, this is a ploy. This is just another attempt by Democrats to claw back the slaves, get them back on the plantation before they have to send the dogs after you. Well, you already sent Obama, and that didn't work. Obama threatened the Black folks, and particularly black men. You got to vote for Kamala, or I'll be mad at you. Nobody cares, Slim Slacks. Nobody cares. Okay? So now Summer Lee of Pennsylvania is supposed to be introducing this legislation to get finally reparations to the Black community. You know what? This is stupid. This is stupid. And it's never going to work. And I'm going to tell you why. There's a couple of reasons. And, you know, people are going to get mad, but I really just don't care, because you got to start living in reality, not this kooky, kook-tard fantasy world that these people live in. They will continue to have you with your head in the clouds, and you won't know truth from reality. Summer Lee plans to introduce the Reparations Now resolution. Oh, God. She says, quote, why we can't wait.
They're using it to try to divide us again and get the Black vote back.
Advancing reparative justice in our lifetime. Shut up. Shut up. You ain't Rosa Parks. You ain't Dr. King. You are definitely not Malcolm X. Power to that, brother. You ain't shit. You work for these Democrats. I can pull up posts on X from Summer Lee stomping the yard for illegal aliens. She doesn't care about Black folks. She doesn't care about the Black community. She doesn't care about reparations. She's got hers. She's got a nice cushy job in Congress and getting them kickbacks. She doesn't care about you sitting there in the hood, ain't got no money, getting ready to get evicted. Summer Lee does not care. She does not care. And Ayanna Presley's working with her, another loser who stomped a yard for illegals. We can see your damn posts on X. Stupid. These people stood by and watched as the citizens in Western North Carolina who were hit with that hurricane, sleeping outside in the cold, had nowhere to go. But you had illegal aliens posted up in luxury hotels. They watched this. They celebrated this. I have some of Summer's posts talking about illegals and we must protect them, and talking about Abrego Garcia and how he needs to be brought home. He is home, bitch. He's in El Salvador where he belongs. He's from there. And he was here illegally. What part of illegal don't y'all get? And why are so many supposed Black folks stomping the yard for illegals? Why? Well, how is that benefiting the Black community? It has actually destroyed the Black community by taking the jobs away and pushing Black folks out and moving them in. You are so idiotic, it's hard to even believe you are in Congress. Summer Lee, wow, what a piece of work. No, what they're realizing is so many Black folks moved off the Democrat plantation because they don't align with our values. Black folks are foundationally conservative people. You can see it in the 50s and the 60s. It's when the drug culture and the CIA came into the Black community because they were so successful and the families were so cohesively bonded, they had to destroy that. And they're still doing it today, working with the enemy to try to break up the family. These Democrats don't care about Black folks. You see veterans, homeless veterans, that President Trump is finally fixing this problem by establishing funds that are going strictly to building housing for veterans. I'm a military Gold Star widow, bitch. Don't even step to me on that. We should not have homeless and veteran in the same damn sentence. But now these Democrats are trying to claw you back because they're starting to realize that their ideas are unpopular and that you don't give a shit about us. You're going to have to learn the hard way. You should have been here for all of the people you claim to represent when you had the chance. You had 4 years to prove yourself, and you did. You proved yourself. You prove that you are not for us. You are against us. Guess what? We voted your bitch ass out, and we're going to do it again in the primaries. So don't bother with this reparations, because you know it won't pass the House, it won't pass the Senate, and even if it did by some strange chance, the Supreme Court is going to knock it down just like they did with the student loan payments to pay off everybody's student loans. They're not going to approve taxpayers footing the bill of trillions of dollars to people who were never slaves. Doesn't make any sense. There's no slaves from the 16, 17, 1800s who are alive today. And guess what? You're not getting reparations. You might as well stop talking about it and be about getting into this golden age and making your life better while these opportunities are out here, because President Trump is making it happen, getting it popping. You ain't getting reparations. Let me be clear. The reparations were already given to illegal aliens, not to Black American citizens. Today, we have another participant in the Democrat Desperate X Syndrome files. Who is our participant and contestant today? Oh, it's James Comey. Or should we say Corny? James, walking along the beach, finding seashells along the seashore, happens to have nothing in life better to do since President Trump fired his big sorry ass back in 2017. He's got nothing better to do now than spell out in seashells along the seashore 8647. And then your big dumb ass posted it on Insta. Are you really that stupid? Y'all already tried to take him out twice. That's not enough for you, bitch. That's not enough for you. The man is changing the landscape of the entire planet for the better. He's stopping all the endless, useless wars. He's stopping all of the crazy migration into America for no apparent reason other than to keep Democrats elected forever and to turn America into a third world country. He stopped all that. He's stopping it. He's bringing back American jobs for Americans to prosper once again. And you're mad, bro? You mad, bro? You mad? Why? Because you're not walking the halls of the FBI and the Hoover building anymore. And it's Kash Patel. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Damn. You really are that stupid. And then he comes an hour later after DHS, and Kristi Noem posts, you about to get a knock at your damn door, bro. You don't post this shit after 2 assassination attempts. There's not going to be any corners that are not thoroughly cleaned out. And there will be no stones unturned, because we're not having another Butler, Pennsylvania incident. Why are you big for no reason, James Corny? Remember that shit? Remember that from back in 2019? The Durham Report, Crossfire Hurricane? Remember they couldn't find any instances of James Comey, no matter where the database searches, couldn't find James Comey anywhere. Well, he just doesn't exist.
The whole Butler thing is turning out Cincinnati. CNN's only rally they covered of Trump was that one. They happened to know that it was going to happen. A lot of people think. I tend to think that too.
But then some smart people are like, wait a minute, listen to change some letters around here and see what comes up. And
well, they were there for
sure
the
as
but
shit,
they didn't put it on live, but they had Trump on live.
You trying to hide there because you did shit wrong. You ratchet. You don't hide things unless you're trying to hide things. And you ain't trying to hide things unless you did some shit you ain't have no business doing. And you don't want anybody to find out about it. That dead ass. That is the only reason you do that. There's no other reason. So now he's trying to clean it up. Oh, how I can't believe that anybody would believe such a thing about me. I would never. Yes, you did. You knew exactly what you were doing. You knew exactly why you spelled out 8647. You walked the halls of the Hoover building as the literal FBI director, and you claim you don't know what the fuck you said? Shut up. You too big to be that dumb. What's wrong with you? Life is something else, isn't it? It's really something else. James Comey. Oh, corny. I guess your beach trip is over now. So now, wow, the Crankfar communist Jezebel, Sodom, and Gomorrah whore media wants you to feel sorry for Joe Biden. Oh, wow. That's really wild.
One more after this.
All of a sudden, the revelations are coming out. Oh my God, he's got stage 5 prostate cancer. Oh, it's very aggressive. Like you didn't know that before. And like we didn't see his cognitive decline, his mental, physical, and cognitive decline since 2021, since y'all stole the 2020 election and installed that weekend at Bernie's Shady Pines resident into the White House. You think we didn't know? We seen him falling up steps and falling down steps and saying dumb shit like Corn Pop and is a bad dude. What? And I know roaches, and then what? Talking to a bunch of little black kids, and of course the NAACP said nothing. Now you want me to feel sorry for that old bastard? Miss me with that shit, because it ain't happening. I don't. You reap what you sow, Joe. You sowed seeds of evil, you shall reap a harvest of evil alongside it. That's just the way things work. I remember the red speech. I remember the red background, the communist red background, with him standing there screaming about MAGA extremists. Gah, get off my lawn. Ah, MAGA extremists, white supremacy. Ah. I remember him saying, now I'm losing my patience with everybody. Just go get the vaccines. Go get the shots. Go get it now. I was here for that. And you want me to feel sorry for him? That is wild. Y'all wilding out over there. You got Jake Tapper, David Axelrod, and Van Jones now just openly on CNN over the weekend talking about this mess that you people knew. You circled the wagons for him. And now Jake Tapper wrote a freaking book, and he's going to make money off of so-called revelations. Bitch, we knew this when he was falling all over the place, when he couldn't remember anybody. He couldn't put a sentence together. And you tried to tell us, and we got deplatformed, kicked off of social media, freaking nuked our channels for even daring to say it. And now you're just openly admitting it and shoving it down our throats that we need to feel sorry for him. You can miss me with that shit. It's because of him, Joe Biden, and Barack Hussein Slim Slacks Obama that I visit my daughter in a cemetery because of that disastrous communist, socialist, fucking Obama healthcare. Death care is actually what it is. Yeah. My daughter was put on that damn death list. And when she was no longer useful for them poking and prodding and researching on her, they let her fucking die. And you think I'm going to feel sorry for Joe Biden? You are a piece of work. Nah, cuz I don't feel shit. Not for him. I'm numb to the whole situation. I'm just going to watch it all come to pass. You ruined this country. You allowed in 50 million illegal aliens. You destroyed the economy. And people are now trying to act like prices just started to rise because of Trump tariff. Prices started rising as soon as Joe Biden and Kamala Harris stole the White House. And you all know it. You hid it. But the numbers are there. All this talk of Medicaid, you're taking away my Medicaid, knowing full well, because I was in HHS on the federal level, and I knew that HHS was part of the unwinding of Medicaid, unwinding. That means taking it away from federal, moving it to the states, for the states to decide what to do with the money that they get from the federal government. You want to take care of all these illegals? That's on you. Here you go. Here's $15. Do what you want with it. Medicaid's got nothing to do with Trump, but it's Trump who has to fix the mess that Obama and Biden made once again. Don't think Obama has nothing to do with this, Slim Slacks. He does. I don't feel sorry for Joe Biden. That which a man sows is what he reaps. I do not feel sorry for him. And now the media wants you to believe that somehow I didn't know. Oh my God. Fuck you. All of you. You all knew. You knew the whole time, dude. None of you said shit. You just let people keep believing that this dude was in what? Joe Scarborough, Morning Mika. Oh my God, he's got more energy than me. He's just running 20 miles a day. You knew. You all knew it all the whole damn time. And now you're pretending. Man, miss me with that shit. And no, I don't feel sorry for him. And you ain't gonna make me. Come at me, bro. Patrick Webb posted on X, breaking. CNN claims that it never told people to, quote, trust the experts during the COVID pandemic. Is this Babylon B? No, here.
Liars.
Let me go ahead and handle this right quick. With the media. Yeah. Thank you, Patrick Webb, for posting that, because I have an article from the National Review from 8 July 2021 titled Virus Experts to CNN. Trust us. Everything we do in our profession is always safe. What was that, CNN? Oh, I got others. I got articles for days. I got your correspondence with their trust the science, trust the science, trust the science. I've got your experts threatening American citizens who don't get the shot. Oh, you gonna kill your grandmama. CNN excitedly touts a letter from 20 virus experts scoffing at the lab leak theory. Watch my pearls. How dare you? How dare you question my authority? Shit. Robert Gary, professor of microbiology and immunology at Tulane Medical School, and colleagues also say it is, quote, extremely unlikely that the lab was working on a virus of natural origin that accidentally leaked out. Yeah, okay. Quote, you have to have an unlikely set of circumstances in place for something like that to happen. If it was a person at the lab, then how did it get to all the animal markets? Interesting. So this article in the National Review, dated 8 July 2021, where CNN, I reiterate, excitedly touts a letter from 20 virus experts scoffing at the lab leak theory. And now that this MIT study has surfaced, and they have concluded in this peer-reviewed study that 650 to 700,000 or more American citizens, people, died as a direct result of the mRNA coronavirus shots.
And more of us are.
And now CNN wants to push plausible deniability. Oh my God, we never got the jab, but I know we never said that. Fuck you. Yes, you did. On the regular. We saw you every day. Why are you treating us like we stupid? We saw you on TV with your little ticker. Remember the little ticker? Oh my God. 70,000 people just dropped dead from the coronavirus. Hurry up, go get the shot. The ticker, constant. Oh, somebody else just died in New Orleans. Somebody else just died in Hong Kong. Somebody just died in Hatchetchubby, Alabama. And now you want to claim that you never said it. We looking dead at you when you said it. Why would you vote Democrat? And see, y'all wonder why the media is dead. Why the Jezebel, whore, Sodom and Gomorrah media is absolutely just dead. They on life support for certain. I don't even know why they still there.
CNN's down to about 500,000 viewers.
CNN,
so that's at the airport.
Just to leave you with this, is trying to say they never told you that the shots were safe and effective. Oh, Lord, have mercy. The world is a vampire. Jesus. Anyway, have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. Yeah. CNN. Oh, fuck.
All right, that was the last one. All right, programming note again. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time, I should be on with an ICE agent and Paloma, talking about that whole issue. So talking about what's going on, what was happening, what is happening, and all that in the future. All right, take care. God bless. Sorry I ran so long.